Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, I thought I'd put together a little bit of a how to improve your game, some simple little tips. I've got 5 simple things that you could think about when you play that will guaranteed improve your game. And this is not an SPG replay. I thought I'd just put together 5 clips that illustrate some important things to think about when you play that are guaranteed to improve your overall performance. And part 1 here, map positioning, and it just so happens that from an SPG point of view, you get to see everyone on the battlefield. So we're going to look at this clip first, and I've got 5. Hopefully these help. And maybe you can think about these kind of like a checklist or a simple, simple things that you can think about that will help you play better. And I've got 5 of them in this video. Map positioning, number 1. And it all depends what, obviously in SPG, you're at the back and you're supporting your team. And as you can see on the mini-map, on a map like this, there's positions that the medium tanks should take, usually in the northwest corner or in central positions. There's positions that the heavy tanks should take, usually where they can angle their armor, side scrape, or go hull down. In this particular map, down on the east side. And then where the SPGs are in the back, and light tanks moving up in the middle to spot, as this little wheeled vehicle is running around trying to spot for his team. If you look at that mini-map, you'll see that, he does have quite a few heavy tanks and medium tanks that are positioned right beside him, which is going to enable the enemy team to take control of the whole map. And if we did have this replay from the perspective of the red team, you would probably see now that they control all of the north, because their medium tanks moved up there. Their light tanks moved into the middle. Their heavy tanks moved into that kind of eastern area. And they're very quickly annihilating everybody on his team. So map positioning is very important, as you can see. Unfortunately for him, his team is not really positioned on the map in the best. Oh, I mean, they're all going to where they want to go. For instance, this object 257 Patek 6730 is well, he wants to position himself to the left of this SPG, but he's having a little trouble driving around. He's trying to go through him, and I think he wants to be in the exact. He wants to occupy the same position that the SPG occupies. So I think he's trying to wedge himself underneath. I do believe that the game mechanic allows 2 tanks to occupy the same point on the map. That it is. They have improved the physics, so that is possible now. But oh well, there you go. He's perched this SPG onto a position that he would have no hope of getting to on his own. Perched up against that rock there. He wouldn't have been able to get up there without the help of the object, but the physics has been improved in the game, so there you go. You see the 2 tanks can occupy the same spot on the ground. He could just simply drive underneath him and use his turret armor to wedge in between the tracks like this and hold him up. And this is a very good position for a heavy tank. It's already safe, so if the artillery on the enemy team shoots, you remain unscathed if you have a teammate that's positioned directly above you to absorb the hit. So it's not as easy as you think. Map positioning is one of the kind of trickier parts of the game, and there's no right or wrong, but as you can see, in the case where there's a lot of artillery in the game, positioning yourself underneath one of your teammates does let you survive the battle a little bit longer. Oh, you've been an ammo rack there. Well, let's move on to number 2. The second tip that you can follow here. When to fall back. Positioning is one thing, but sometimes you get to a position and you realize that it's unsafe and it is better to fall back. Lone Star 101 is in his T26E5. He's platooned with one of his friends, and he's ready to have a good time. He's in his premium tank, and he is going to move towards the city. He's going straight for, it looks like he's heading for one of these corners where you can pre-aim and shoot some unsuspecting people that come by. Let's see if he goes there. I have a couple of favorite spots. I think he is. He's heading pretty, yeah, I think he's going to one of these spots that I like to go to. He must have watched a couple of my map positioning videos. Yes, this is a good spot. He can get hull down here. His upper plate is angled if they hit it, and only his turret exposed. So if some enemies move here, get a little bit too aggressive, he can take a couple of cheeky shots, which is he must have watched the map positioning portion of this video. So let's see how he goes here. Of course, when it becomes dangerous, you have to know when to fall back, and his teammate right now is letting him know it's time to fall back. Nilla Ko is saying fall back. What's wrong with you? Nudging him a little bit. It's time for you to fall back. And his platoon mate, Garage Z18, agrees in the guard and fires a warning shot at him. You should fall back now. It's going to get dangerous very quickly here, and Nilla is trying his best to make him fall back. And obviously, Lone Star is a bit of a beginner and doesn't know that it is appropriate now for him to fall back. The guard has come to help. You should fall back now. There's going to be some enemies that approach here, and he refuses to fall back. Well, I guess this calls for some drastic measures, and Nilla is now going to wedge his tank from behind and pick up Lone Star. And with the help of his teammate, I think, well, if they pick him up, they can make him fall back. Now, fall back. I think they've accidentally perched him on top of this big rock, and he's ammo racked. Oh, he's taken a couple of hits. He's not angled correctly there. He's taken a few more hits. And if you had just fallen back as instructed, he would have been safe from that enemy fire. So it just goes to show that if you delay your falling back, you can be exposed to enemy fire. And as hard as his teammates tried to help him and warn him, he refused to fall back. And now look at him. He's lost 2/3 of his HP. He's ammo racked. And who's still full HP? Your teammates who are behind you. They have fallen back. And I guess let this be a lesson to you that if you're the last guy on your team to fall back, you're probably going to be the first guy on your team to die. And that's what happens. And this has infuriated his teammates that tried to get him to fall back. He refused to fall back. And now it looks like it's going to be a loss, and they're, well, angry, of course. And Nilla has now pushed the front of his tank into the rear of Lone Star's tank. Lone Star is aiming at the wall. Nilla is guarding the left side. The two of them are working together. Nilla is in a better position. He's actually hull down, using the hull of Lone Star. And it's just a matter of now trying to take a cheeky shot. But before it gets too dangerous, again, I have to stress that you have to fall back. Now, Nilla's been shot, so it's obviously a good time for, yes, fall back. And falling back lets you fight another day, right? To safety. And Lone Star has not learned. The second time, you should have fallen back, and he's dead. So it's you kind of learned this this trick, or you have to watch what's going on and know when you should fall back. All right, part 3 here. The third thing you can think about when you play is tracking assist. It's very important. It's very important. This is a mistake a lot of people make when they play. They just simply shoot. A lot of people auto aim and they just shoot. They just they want to do damage, and that's fine. But once you get better and better at this game and you gain some experience, you realize that shooting the track wheel is very important. Not only does it give you more assist damage, but it also tracks the tank and making it immobile, allowing teammates to also, hence the assist damage. And it's just a good thing to do, to get into the habit of always aiming for the track wheel if you have a chance. And so let's watch Gordazul in his STA2 is moving up the hill in Himmelsdorf. And he's got this great tank with good front armor, good gun depression. Beautiful tank, it's been buffed. And it does shoot fairly fast, so you can, if you track someone and they have a very slow repair skill, you can keep them permatracked. Now, if you do that, if he's able to do that in this game, it'd be amazing. And for some reason, he's turning his tank around so that he no longer has gun depression. And unfortunately, because he's done that, when an enemy shows up, he's not able to shoot. That's not one of the things that we're going to cover here. And I'm just giving you 5 basic tips here. We could cover gun depression and being hull down. It's a little bit more complicated. For this particular segment, we're going to concentrate on a tracking assist. And, well, he has watched the previous part of the video, and he does know that it's time to fall back. When just about being overrun now, he realized that falling back is probably a good idea. His teammate now, Sweet Dream, is trying to line up a shot with the enemies. And they're both going to realize pretty quickly here that all is lost on the hill, and it is time to fall back. Now he's reversing as fast as he can, keeping his front armor angled towards the enemies. Here he goes, and watch this. He's going to stop the enemy advance here. He's not going to just run. He's going to make sure he uses his gun. And where is he going to shoot? Watch. Watch. He's going to aim here, and as the enemies approach, this is the smart thing to do. Watch, right. See? Shoot the track wheel. That stops them, right? And then as they keep coming, he's going to shoot again. Watch, just shoot the track wheel. Yeah, unfortunately, and they shot his track, but he has his repair kit. Time to fall back, as we learned in part 2. He's falling back. When you track someone, they will use their repair kit, like he's used his repair kit. When your repair kit is regenerating, you want to make sure you don't get shot in the track wheel again, because then you can become permatracked. That's what you want to do to the enemies. If you could do that, it's great. So if they shoot him again here in the track wheel, you see, now he's immobile. He does not have a repair kit, and the enemies just keep shooting him in the track wheel. Permatracked. You see that? Shoot for the tracks, and what happens? Boom. Easily take out enemies. And thanks for that demonstration, Gordazul in the STA2. Remember that, guys. Just a little tip. Shoot for track wheels. You'll be amazed how much easier it is to kill enemies. Holding a corner is very important, and there's certain tanks that are very good at it, and there's certain maps which corners and choke points are very important to hold. Super Conquerors, Stevie Ray Vaughan is in a Super Conqueror, and this is the perfect tank to hold a corner. As a matter of fact, he's got a teammate there, another British tank, with a big gun, and there is one very important corner to hold on this. It's called Heavy Tank Alley. It's the 8 line right here, and look at this. This is the perfect tank to go and use this rubble to get hull down and hold this corner. If he can hold this corner, it's going to really increase the chances of his team winning. And he's got some teammates with him that are also very, very adamant about that corner being held. This British Death Star here. Now, if they can work this corner together, he can pump out the shots one by one and use his fast-firing accurate gun. And every 20 seconds or so, just back up and let the Death Star shoot his gun that can do 1,800 damage. These two tanks holding a corner together can be devastating. Devastating. And being hull down like this in a Super Conqueror is almost invincible in this spot. With the super accurate gun, the only thing that could go wrong is if enemies start shooting HE at him, or if they press 2 and start spamming APCR. And it looks like he's been penned a couple of times, 3 times now, twice with HE and once with APCR. So unfortunate. He's lost a couple of crew members, and he's used his repair kit and his first aid kit. But under no circumstance should you leave this corner. You will help your team win by holding a corner. And this British Super Heavy is the best tank you can use to hold a corner, especially when you're supported by 2 tank destroyers. So here he is. He's not left. It's a very close game. It's still anybody's game. It's like 0-1 is the score. So all they have to do, if you look at the mini-map, there's quite a few enemies that have come down this 8 line. All these 3 guys have to do is hold this corner. And you'll notice that their team has taken control of most of the rest of the map. They've won the hill. They've pushed down the 1-2-3 line. They're actually winning 2-1 now. So it's just a matter of holding the corner to ensure victory. And what a lot of inexperienced players do at this point, right, when they've taken a little bit of damage and they haven't got a lot of damage for themselves, they get a little bit frustrated, and then they stop concentrating, and they don't realize how important it is to hold that corner. Now, if you're in a medium tank or a light tank, fine, relocating is your strength. But when you go to a corner like this in a heavy tank, you must hold the corner at all costs. And Stevie Ray Vaughan here has so far done a fantastic job. The enemies are just pinned back there, unable to advance, knowing that there's just the fact that they know there's a Super Conqueror and a Death Star on this corner has just stopped in their tracks. Get it? In their tracks. These tanks on the 8 line. And so even though he has not done a lot of damage himself, he is just making it easier for his team to win by holding this corner. And every now and then he's got to poke just to make his presence seen, so that they still know that he's here. And they're too scared to push forward, knowing that there's 2 powerful tanks on a corner. And I can't stress enough how important that is if you are a heavy tank player. That's my one thing I don't do well. I lose patience, and then I vacate the corner, and I screw it up, and then the enemies sense this, and then they can take the corner and surround the rest of the team. And that's exactly what he's doing. This is a terrible mistake. You see, he's left the corner now, and now, even though he's going to farm a little bit of damage, by not holding that corner, that's allowed the enemies to move forward, and now they're going to take out the Death Star that has a long reload, and he's going to be in a much weaker position now. He's lost the corner. The enemies have moved forward, and what was a sure win ends up being a defeat. Completely a terrible play by Stevie Ray Vaughan there, who for the 3/4 of the game just held it and then just lost his concentration, vacated the corner, and there you go. It's a loss. Some tanks are not suitable to holding corners. They're not suitable to scouting. They are dedicated snipers. And Haxel Road here is in the STRV S1, and he is a professional sniper. The sniper role in this game is one that is crucial, essential. You always need snipers to support the people that are all the medium tanks that are running around doing all the spotting, and the light tanks. You need some tanks that can snipe, and snipers get no respect. Snipers, here's the thing: if you're a light tank or a medium tank and you move up to spot, you put your tank in harm's way. You spot enemies. Don't be upset that there's a sniper behind you. Don't ping the map and say, "Oh, move up, help, help, help." No, let that sniper shoot, and rest assured, you will be rewarded with all the spotting assist. Snipers do their damage, assist the team, and they get less XP because you're spotting for them. So you should think of it as, and look at that, just beautiful. He's taken that shot. He does not get full XP for that because some of his teammates have spotted that player who is outside his maximum detection range, the white circle on the map. There's no chance he's going to get detected. He is the invisible sniper. But it's fair the way the game has worked this mechanic, because the tanks that do the spotting get XP for the damage that the sniper, the camper at the back does. So it's fair all around, and that's why it's tanks are so friendly in sharing the XP. That's why everyone understands this and works together. Sure, sometimes there's a little excessive pinging on the map from some inexperienced players, but by and large, I think that most medium tanks and light tanks understand that it's their job to move around the battlefield and let the snipers sit in positions of safety and just pump out the damage, letting them increase their WN8 but not gain XP for the game. This is why it's a symbiotic relationship, basically. Snipers can do all the damage and increase their WN8 because WN8 is just based on damage, but they will not get the most XP in the game. The XP will go to the tanks that are spotting, the tanks that are up there mucking it up, brawling, and on the front lines, detecting everyone, right? So it's perfect. It's a perfect symbiotic relationship. Something that Dobie 8776 H. Jewel in his UDES understands perfectly. He is so concerned and so happy to see that there's a sniper here that he's overwhelmed with excitement and wants to get close to him. He's guarding his rear. He's making sure that he's positioned perfectly in the bush, and he's trying to be as close and as friendly as he can to the STRV. 2 Swedish tanks nuzzled in the bushes together. The only thing that could be better at the 20-minute and 53-second mark of this video would be if both these 2 Swedish tank commanders started yodeling. Yodel. 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 It's a beautiful thing to watch. And I checked. I did some research on the internet, and although some of you, and I'm sure there's going to be a few in the comments now, are going to try and tell me that it is not the Swedish people that yodel, it is the Swiss. It's fake news, okay? I know that there are some erroneous internet articles, and if you Google it, there will be some pages that say it's a Swiss thing or a Finnish. It's, first of all, how many of you actually know where Switzerland and where Sweden and like relative to, I know if you take Finland, Switzerland, and Sweden, if you take the center of those 3 countries and connect them, right, that shape would form, and connect those dots, that shape would form a triangle. And a lot of you probably didn't know that. And all I can say is, have you lasted? If you've lasted this long, I should say something intelligent. At about this point in the video, I should say, as one Swede rams his ass up against the other Swede, look at them there. Yodel. Be patient as a sniper. Be patient. Be as patient as you can, because sit in that bush the whole game. Eventually, your whole team will die, and the enemies will approach, and you will get 4 or 5 shots. Right? So even if your team sucks, as the sniper, you will be the last one standing and finish on top. You know, with damage. Maybe not XP, but damage. So, I think we don't want to go over too many points because it's fairly complicated, and I don't want to burden you with so much that you can't follow along. I think we've gone through 5 kind of key tips, shall we call them, that will enable you to excel and possibly perform better. You don't have to be a Unicom. It's not rocket science. It's just, think about those things next time you log on and are ready to hit play. I guarantee if you think about the things I talked about in this video, you will play better, and you will thank me when you're playing. And as you think back on some of these this advice that I've provided for you, you will think, I watched that Claus video and it really helped. And I'm sure that's going to be the case. And any of you who disagree, it's just fake news.